What's going on, guys? Dino Bam Bam here with the 10-7 MMA. Happy to bring you guys another edition of the MMA Casuals Guide. And this episode, of course, is a huge one. It is a pay-per-view. It's UFC 288, Sterling versus Cejudo. Guys, this card should be absolutely bananas. I am super excited about it. But before we get into that, please do me a favor. Go down there, hit that little subscribe button, ring that bell so you get notified whenever our videos do drop. Leave us a comment. Let us know how you feel about these videos. Are you watching our long form videos? Are you just watching these MMA casual videos? We'd like to get to know some of you guys. You can reach out on Instagram as well. That's going to be at the107MMA. Anyways, let's forget about that. Let's get into this card. As I mentioned, UFC 288, Sterling versus Cejudo. Let's start with the main event. The red corner, the bantamweight champion, and an absolute my boy, Aljamain, the Funk Master Sterling. 22-3, the Funk Master looks to defend his UFC bantamweight title for the third time. Aljamain Sterling, a Jamaican-American fighter from New York, is known as a grappler. He's got really good wrestling. He's got really good jiu-jitsu skills. One of his many nicknames is the human backpack, meaning once he gets your back on the ground, you're not going anywhere and he is staying there. Aljo controversially won the title back at UFC 259. He was facing then-champion Petr Yan, who in the fourth round was really starting to run away with the fight. It looked like Peter was cruising to a unanimous decision at least, until one moment, Aljo was down on his knees, and Petr Yan threw a knee that landed right in Sterling's face. That, of course, caused the referee to stop the fight, and Sterling won the title via disqualification. A lot of people claim Aljo was acting like he was injured there. A lot of people claim he robbed Petr Yan of that title. Aljo kind of started comedically to play into that villain role, oftentimes calling himself an actor or wearing t-shirts of himself as an Oscar trophy. Anyways, the pair would eventually rematch at UFC 273, where Aljo would win a decision. Again, that came with some controversy as it was a very close fight. Aljo's last fight was in October at UFC 280. He successfully defended against former champion TJ Dillashaw. At the very beginning of that fight, it was clear Dillashaw had injured his arm and he was basically fighting one-handed. Aljo got the TKO stoppage in the second. I'm going to go ahead and link his YouTube channel, which chronicles his camps and his life, in the description below. Guys, this weekend Aljo looks to defend his title against the former champion who never lost it. And that man, of course, is the king of cringe, Triple C, Olympic champ, flyweight champ, bantamweight champ, Henry the Messenger Cejudo. He is back. The last time we saw Cejudo compete in the UFC was back at UFC 249 in May of 2020. He successfully defended his bantamweight title versus Dominic Cruz that night, before kind of shockingly vacating both his belts at the time and retiring from the sport of MMA. There have been rumors over the past few years that Cejudo would come back. Those never came to fruition until right now. Cejudo never really stayed too far from the fight game during his hiatus though. He called some fights for Khabib Nurmagomedov's promotion Eagle FC, and he of course has a YouTube channel where he breaks down and analyzes fights. I will also link that in the description for you guys. Of course, the Olympic gold medalist in freestyle wrestling believes that he holds the grappling advantage over current champion Aljamain Sterling. He vows to make Sterling bend the knee to Triple C. Guys, this fight should be crazy, but before we see Sterling and Cejudo, we are going to see a wild fight at welterweight. The co-main event sees number 4 Belal Muhammad versus number 5 Gilbert Burns in a special 5-round co-main event. Let's start with the red corner, the number 4 ranked fighter in the UFC's welterweight division, Belal, remember the name, Muhammad. 22-3, Belal Muhammad has not lost since 2019, and he is currently on a 8-fight streak with no losses. The last time he fought was also at UFC 280 back in October. He got the TKO finish over rising contender Sean Brady and took his O. Belal is sort of a jack of all trades kind of fighter, doesn't do anything amazingly well, but does everything pretty well. It seems like he can out-grapple the strikers in the division, and it seems like he can outstrike the grapplers in the division. Belal has previously fought against the current champ Leon Edwards. That fight ended in a no contest after Belal was eye-poked and could not continue. Muhammad believes he has earned a title shot, and he deserves another crack at Leon. The UFC, however, has promised the next title shot to Colby Chaos Covington. The organization hasn't officially called this fight a title eliminator, but all the MMA fans expect that that's what it is. So Belal looks to get his title shot by defeating his opponent this weekend, and that opponent, of course, is Gilbert Durinho Burns. And Gilbert Burns, guys, is making some MMA Casuals Guide history here. He is the first fighter to feature twice on this little show that we have, so for that, I would like to shout out Gilbert Burns, a former Jiu-Jitsu world champion who just fought at the last pay-per-view in Miami, where he defeated Miami's own Jorge Gamebred Masvidal. Guys, Durinho is on pace to be the UFC's most active fighter this year. He has fought twice already. This will be his third. He is quickly becoming the UFC's MVP. He's willing to take on anyone, anytime, any place. Back-to-back UFC pay-per-view co-main events is an absolutely huge deal. Similar to Belal, guys, Burns believes that he deserves the next title shot, and that's essentially what's at stake here. This fight should be crazy. I am super duper excited about it. I do want to shout out both fighters for stepping in on short notice here to save the card. Really cool move by them too. The original co-main event of this card, of course, was supposed to be former lightweight champion Charles "Do Bronx" Oliveira, as he was supposed to take on longtime UFC veteran Beneil Darisuh. That fight has been moved to a later date. We move on to some other people you should know on this card, and there are quite a few, so I will move kind of quickly here. The feature fight sees number 4 strawweight Brazil's Jessica Andrade as she takes on China's number 6 Yan Xiaonan. This fight has some title implications. The winner should be one fight away from a future date with current strawweight queen Zhang Weili. Also on the main card, we will see undefeated Russian grappler Movsar Evloev, and he will be taking on another grappler and a fan favorite in Thug Nasty, Bryce Mitchell. This is number 10 versus number 11. Huge implications in the division here. The winner should find themselves looking for a top 5 opponent next. And to open the main card, we will see Kron Gracie, who is of course a Gracie family member and son of the legendary 9th degree Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu red belt Rickson Gracie. And of course, that means if Rickson's your dad, then your grandfather is of course the co-founder of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Helio Gracie. Guys, he is going to be taking on a fan favorite out of Canada, the always down to scrap, the always exciting Charles Air Jourdain. The prelims will see Drew Dober in what should be a fight of the night contender versus New York's own Matt the Steamroller Frevola. Guys, we're going to see rising contender Kennedy Nzechukwu. He will be taking on UFC veteran Devin Clark. This fight could get the winner into the rankings at the light heavyweight division. We're also going to see knockout artist Khaos Williams. He'll be taking on UFC newcomer Rolando Bedoya, who is out of Lima, Peru. And we will also see another top 10 women's strawweight fight as 2 Brazilians face off. Marina Rodriguez, who looks to rebound after a loss her last time out, and she will be facing Virna Jandiroba. Guys, there is a ton of fun fights on this card. I cannot wait till Saturday comes. UFC 288 takes place this Saturday, May the 6th at the Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey. If you guys enjoyed the video, please help us out by pressing that like button and subscribing. Let us know what fight you're looking forward to the most. You can follow us on Instagram at the107MMA. Thank you guys so much for watching the MMA Casuals Guide to UFC 288. Peace.